Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles in Minutes, and the title of this video is called Missing the Prize. So I am the author of Miracles in Minutes. What is Miracles in Minutes? It is a book that I wrote on how to get people out of physical pain in less than 2 minutes from simple stretches and exercises that most people already know but are not knowing how to access to provide instant pain relief. Headache, gone in 30 seconds, or greatly reduced by 50 to 100%. Same thing with lower back pain. This is from 21 years of clinical practice. I offer this book to you guys, and if you understand some of the concepts in this book, you won't miss the prize. So what does it mean by missing the prize? So this morning I was at the gym, and one lady was talking to me. She's like, Joe, you know, about this and that, and my hip and my knee, and da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da, and you know, and then, you know, I was saying my physical therapist, and, you know, they're talking about my glute, and I can't bridge up, and my glutes aren't firing, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yo. And what that is that's the fear brain, and you're focusing on the urgent versus the important, okay? And what happens is, what people get stuck in is analysis. You're analyzing the freaking problem to death, and there's something called analysis paralysis, which means you get stuck in a problem. Miracles in Minutes, a lot of it is, there's some exercises, but you have to understand the way the brain works. Without bringing your brain involved, it's mindless exercise. We are not mindless creatures. We have a creative brain, and the brain loves a goddamn goal. You know, if your goal is to get to the gym, most likely you'll get to the gym. If the goal is to eat healthy, you'll get to the goal. But that's if you really want it. See, there's a difference between talking about something and doing it. When you want something, you have to want it with every ounce of your being. And there's a story that Socrates, you know, and this young guy talked about, you know, he's like, Socrates, you know, this arrogant young guy's like, I want to learn. And Socrates took him down to the water and held his ass underwater and let him up. Said, what do you want? He goes, I want to learn. He threw his head underwater again, held him down longer, let him up. So, what do you want? He goes, I want to learn. He held his head underwater longer and longer and longer. Let him up. He said, what do you want? He goes, I want to breathe. And Socrates said, when you want to learn as bad as you want to breathe, you'll learn. And I hate to say it, that's what it takes. You have to have a extreme focus. You have to have all of yourself into what you want in life to get the prize. What is the outcome that you want? What is the clear, determined outcome? It needs to be stated in visual. What does it look like? What does it sound like? And the biggest thing is, what does it feel like? You put all your focus on it. Here's what happens. Your subconscious mind works it out and creates it for you. You don't have to know how. It seems like if you just knew how. I'm not saying don't ever read, don't ever learn, don't ever study. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you get a very clear goal, when you keep your eyes on the prize, there's always the urgent and then there's the important. When people get in pain, it is hard. It's pulling, I hurt. It's pulling you here. And when I'm the doctor, I almost like have to grab them and say, what do you want? And I have to bring their mind over to, what do you want? 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 And then I show them where they keep stepping off and missing the mark, where they go back into analysis paralysis. They get stuck in the wrong part of the brain. That's fear, and that's all these emotions, and there's your thinking, and there's your feelings. It's tying up, and you can't get to this part of the brain, which is the neocortex, which has the solution for you. It's you need to move out of these two brains and into this brain, and then this brain connects the other three together, and everything happens for you. It's hard. No one's ever taught us this. It requires a lot of discipline. It requires some deep breathing, and it requires the ability to learn how to develop your skill to observe and focus. If you learn how to keep your eye on the ball or keep your eye on the prize and keep seeing that, it might be a biblical message called faith. It's calling into being what's not here. It's the same thing that Edison did with the light bulb, and the same thing that Einstein did with E equals MC squared. He kept his eye on the prize. He kept thinking about what it is he's wanting to understand with an open mind and curiosity. What people get attached to is of a method. Oh, I have to go to the doctor because all my friends go to the doctor. I have to take pills because this is what all my friends do. Well, the only thing you can have is what they have, and the reality is none of those people get cured. They don't ever get rid of the problem. They learn to manage problems. Do you want to have a life filled with problems you manage, or would you like to let the problems go? Keeping your eye on the prize is you're going to have to, focus and state clearly what it is you want, and then you're probably going to need some help. You're going to need some help from someone who can coach you through that, and have to write you out a calendar to keep your eye on the prize. As you continue to do that, what will happen is you'll learn to develop the neocortex, or the smartest part of our brains, which opens up endless possibilities for your life. You can have anything you want if you know how to use your brain that way. It's not taught in school. It requires a lot of discipline. You have to develop certain aspects of your physiology between your breathing and your ability to focus, and then learning how to goal set in a way that works. Most people are goal setting in the negative. I want to be healthy. What does that mean? I don't want my back to hurt. You just created back pain. It's because that's the way the subconscious mind works. And when I bring that up in conversation or with patients, I'm not trying to punish them or make them wrong. I want them to understand that you've just stabbed you take a step forward and cut your own hamstring. You just can't get there that way. You have to be, this is what I want. It's clear. I see it. I can hear it. I can feel it. I'm being that. I'm experiencing that. And then stay in it and then be there. And it's going to feel weird because you're not used to being in that part of your nervous system or that part of your brain. And you're going to go back to it doesn't seem right because it doesn't feel natural to you, because we're so naturally used to being in pain. We're so used to complaining. We're so used to suffering. And we're so used to being like everybody else that you're going to be thinking differently than everybody else. Now you're an outlier. Now you feel alone, but there's other people out there who think this way. If you can tip the scales in that favor, you can have everything you want. You can have optimum health. You can have the relationships you want. You can have the money that you want. And this has always been said, that the limiting switch is not the president. The limiting switch is not the government. The limiting switch is not your doctor. The limiting switch is not your genes. The limiting switch is your beliefs and the inability to not make a decision and commit all the way to a clear, distinct goal. You decide, I'm all in. Your chance of success goes way up. If you're a dabbler, you're in and out, your chance of success is 0. You can't ride the fence post. You're either all in or all out. What is it you do want? If you understand this concept, you can use my book, Miracles in Minutes, and you'll be surprised that things that used to keep you stuck in life, and the reason why I wrote this book is to get rid of, opioid addiction and help people live the life they want, because it's really hard to be with your kids and enjoy life when you're suffering. It's and I don't want to see anybody suffer over a lifetime with a chronic knee problem, a chronic back problem, or something like that. Learn how to use the book. It has a red light, has a yellow light, has a green light. You know what to do, know what not to do, and you start learning how to listen to yourself, and you will develop and become more confident, because your body's designed to heal itself, but you have to listen to it. There's wisdom in there if you'll listen. And the only reason why I have a lot of success in my office is because I listen to what your body said and I agree with it. I just don't disagree with your own nervous system. I mean, it's an intelligent system if you learn how to work with it. So Dr. Wood, keep your eye on the prize, or try to learn how to stop missing the prize and start having, some great successes in your life. And that's what I want for you. And I'm here to help you get that. And if you need help or support, send me a private message or something. I'd be glad to help you out and start teaching you how this stuff works. And you'll be amazed at how wonderful you really are, and how wonderful of a brain we have, and how your system's always been set up to help you. And it's always wanted to give you everything, but you have to listen.